Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we're back. We're back for episode 2 for Love is Blind. We're in the UK, y'all. We're in the UK. And what's my thumbnail says? Sam is rubbish. Y'all UK folks got me using your phrases rubbish. He is rubbish. Trash. Let me switch back to my American English version. Trash. But we'll keep it at rubbish for now since we in the UK. But I guess we got a proposal and we got a yes, y'all. We got a proposal and a yes from Steven and Sabrina. The cliffhanger is no longer hanging. We got our answer, but I wasn't worried. I wasn't unsure about it. I knew Sabrina was going to say yes. And no matter if that man wants to have babies or not, she gonna say yes. And then she gonna try to convince him not to really want him. That's all that's gonna happen. She gonna convince him not to really want him, or she gonna come up with some excuses of why she don't want no kids. Something gonna happen. But he got down on his one knee. He said, "I love you," after only one episode. Well, I don't know. We saw one episode, but who knows? Maybe this was the 3rd or 4th day. I don't know. And at first, we didn't know if she was going to say yes because she gave a long speech. And Steven didn't like that speech. He was tired of that speech. Me too. I was like, girl, get to the answer. Get to the answer. But she finally said yes. She said she loves him and, everything was good and dandy and everything. And then they had their big reveal. And, we held our breath to figure out whether or not they would think that each other was good looking. She was thinking that he had bald man energy. I don't know if that was going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe she was hoping for a bald man. I don't know. But when they came out, I was looking for signs to see whether or not they were faking it to make it, or if they really were attracted to each other physically. And I didn't see no signs that they were faking it, y'all. It looked like it was real attraction in terms of like physical attraction. He said he felt she was beautiful inside and out. And even though she was expecting a man with bald man energy, I didn't get any sense that what she did see, she didn't like. So there you go. Physical attraction is there. He says she looks stunning. And they kissed a lot of lip locking. And I always look to see who's leaning in the most. Is the man leaning in the most? Is she leaning in the most? Because sometimes that tells you a lot of whether or not if one partner is more enthusiastic than the other. But it seemed like they both leaned in. I mean, she leaned in more. I did notice that. But it wasn't as if he didn't lean in. So I think, it went well. But he did tell her, how when you have to come out and he has to, really get down on one knee and really present the ring at that time. He did tell her before he started that proposal, that second proposal, he told her right then and there, make it short. He said, make it short. Don't give me no long, drawn out answer. You see, that part right there is really nothing wrong with him saying it. But the fact that he said it, that's the part right there that I'm telling you guys I'm a little bit concerned about with him and Sabrina. Because I think right now they're trying to play these nice people like they're not sharp or they're not curt. But something tells me that the two of these people can get a little short. They might can get a little short with each other. And just like on that little moment, it was a small moment, but that little moment, he specifically told her, when I get down this knee, you need to make it quick. And she listened. She sure did listen. She made it quick. We got introduced to a new couple this week, Maria and Tom. Maria was on the video I did the first day when I was doing the trailer video. She was one of the people that came on there. And I think Tom was too. So the one thing about this UK version, now that I realize it, they kind of already told you who the couples were going to be. I think the US version, they keep it a little bit more of a secret. But the UK version, they were not afraid of letting you know who the couples were going to be afterwards. Well, they didn't tell you who was going to pair up, but they kind of highlighted those people in their clips. I didn't know it at the time, but the trailer I reviewed, Maria was on there and so was Tom. So maybe Maria and Tom are going to make it to the marriage altar, or to the, at least to the, out of the pods together. It's starting to be a little bit of pattern with this UK version, which goes back to what I said before. I wonder if some of this stuff is more contrived. I don't know. We always talk about these different versions, the American version versus like the UK version. When we watch Mavs, people sometimes watch the UK version or the Australia version. And there are always these little differences in the way they produce the shows, a slight difference. But what I've heard is that typically the Australia version is high on drama. I don't know if they have a Love is Blind Australia version. I know there's a Mexico one going on. And I tried to watch one episode of it, but they have the voiceover because of the language difference. And I don't know. I couldn't get with it, y'all. I just couldn't get with it. Maybe y'all can get with it. But anyway, we got introduced to Maria and Tom. Maria is Moroccan. I think she's half Moroccan, half Italian, or is she all Moroccan? I don't know. I know she got some Moroccan blood running through her. And she was the one on the trailer before saying she want to laugh. And I was like, girl, go get you a comedian. Ain't nobody telling you jokes every day for the rest of your life for 40 years. And I called her short term. I called her short term because I ain't no cornerstone of marriage. Yeah, you want someone with a sense of humor, but she says she wanted a person, she wants to laugh and crack up for 40 years. So Tom tried to bring some jokes, but she laughed. It really wasn't a laugh. It was kind of like a smile and like a little chuckle. I don't know if Tom can pass the comedian sniff test that Maria is looking for, or what I say is Maria needs to drop that. Girl, if you got a top 5 of what you want from a man, him being a comedian should not be on the top 5. That's ridiculous. But anyway, she was explaining how, in her culture, specifically the Moroccan side, it's frowned upon for women to date. I guess you're just supposed to go from single to married, or I don't know if they have arranged marriages in the Moroccan culture. Maybe so. But she said she bucking tradition. She said she don't care. She trying to be happy. She in the UK now. And she said her parents are with it. Their parents are like, as long as you happy, Maria, we going to be with you. So that's why she here now. She's bucking tradition and she ready to find herself a man, find herself a husband. And Tom says, good, because I want a wife. I want a wife. He wants someone who is into self-development. He started telling the story of, how he has had to do. It sounds like he's been doing a lot of therapy. Hopefully. I know he's been on like some type of self-discovery and development. But hopefully he's also gotten like therapy with it or some type of coaching with it to kind of help him along, because he is 38 now. So he's kind of realized that a lot of this past trauma and stuff has affected his dating life. That's what I tell, young people. If there's young people always trying to learn something from us older generation people. I tell you, here's a tip. Go to therapy early. Very, very early. Go as early as you can. Whether high school, if your parents don't have no health care that can pay for your high school therapy or whatever, then as soon as you get a job and they offer health care, go early in your 20s. Because I'm going to tell you, it really, really does help you later on in your life, in your relationships. And the earlier you go, the better you are. Then that way you're not going to therapy in your 40s, your 50s. You may still be going, but at least you would have, got a head start on things. I think, therapy really became a little bit more or less stigmatized. So my generation, a lot of people are going to therapy later in life. And I think the first time I went to therapy, I want to say I was about 29, was the very first time. So back then that was considered early for my, my generation, going to therapy at 29. And it really did help me in my dating life and lots of things. And I think a lot of people should go even earlier than that. I think you should go in your early 20s after high school, unless you're having really big problems in high school. But if you're not, I would say definitely go in your early 20s. But, back to Tom. Tom was saying that, he felt abandoned by his dad, and he believes a lot of that abandonment led to him not having the ability to attach within the relationship. I mentioned this on my other video too, the one I did with the trailer, and that is this notion that you have a lot of people out here talking about, all the good men are gone. That was Catherine. I believe that was Catherine. That's why I told you I had really had a problem with when she was saying, all the good men are gone. No, because people are looking for people with no trauma, or people who don't have any bad past. And then you hear people saying, oh, black people have so much past because they come from all these single parent households and so many children are born out of wedlock. And these are all things that do add to a child's trauma. But you're finding out, that's why these shows are really good for people to look. You're finding out that these problems exist against all cultural lines. They don't even just exist against cultural lines within America. They exist even across, what do we call the UK, across the pond on the other side, right? Everybody this week, it was a whole lot of trauma being exposed, and a lot of it was surrounding people feeling abandoned in their family units, abandoned by a mom or abandoned by a dad. And so that's why I keep saying that this idea that we're going to find a mate that doesn't have any trauma, then there's a good chance you're not going to find that. And I don't even think that should be the expectation, because people can do their best to come to relationships whole. But in marriage, that's kind of what you're dealing with. You're dealing with each other's mess. You really are. That's why I say sometimes a lot of people really need to rethink marriage to see if it's really something they want, because in marriage, that's kind of what you're signing up for. You're signing up to be married to a person, knowing that although they can get better with some therapy and time through some of their trauma, in a lot of ways, you're still going to have to deal with a lot of that in your marriage. And on Maria's side, she says, she's realized that she doesn't know how to be vulnerable, and she needs to be able to learn how to bond with the person, and that she's learning that in order to bond, you have to show vulnerability. Exactly. No one wants to let their guard down and show their vulnerability with you if you always come across as perfect, infallible, never having a weakness, can't relate to anything that's going on with them. And so people don't really bond with you. And so if you're coming across as hardcore, and I think that's what Maria was saying, she was taught never to cry. Folks better learn how to cry. Shoot, you can cry in the workplace now. There used to be a time in the workplace where, especially for women, because we were trying to be respected in the workplace, we wouldn't cry in the workplace. I remember early on in my career, my 20s, sometimes I'd be at work and I would want to cry. And I would go to my office, shut the door, and cry in my office because you're so frustrated. It is the way that, you may get emotions out. I didn't want to see anyone do it, but shoot, I'd be at work now, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm at work now and I get frustrated over something, or someone says something to me foul, I will cry. I ain't gonna be that strong black woman at work where you get to run over me and I gotta be tough and show I can take it. Nope, I cry, and then I let all the other people come over and tell everybody else, leave her alone. I sure do. Crying is powerful, ladies. It's powerful. Let people know how they're hurting you, how they're attacking you, how they are, whatever they're doing to you. Don't feel the need to suffer through it. I sure will. I have totally flipped the script. I have totally flipped the script, and it has worked in my favor. Now, I'm not out here being no Karen and crying over nothing, whatever, but I absolutely do not feel the need that when if I'm in a workplace and there is someone who is being completely disrespectful, mean, whatever, contentious, just to the point, I'm not going to be the angry black woman and get up there and start yelling and screaming or using foul language or saying whatever else. I'm going to be the victim, because in that moment I am the victim. I am the victim. Why should I have to show strength when I'm the victim? So I want to encourage everybody else who's out here trying to always be the strong woman and not cry. A cry girl. Cry, even with your husbands. If your husband says something to you foul, left, if my husband ever says anything or does anything that I don't like, I don't chastise him, just cry. And he'd be like, what's wrong? I don't know why you said that to me. I don't know why you said that to me. Y'all better get your cry on. But she told a sad story, Maria did, about her dad. I thought it was a sad story. I'm a sucker for a sad daddy story. Because, a lot of you know who watch my channel, I was daddy's girl. And she told a sad story about her dad, had got diagnosed with cancer. And he went back to Morocco for like a farewell tour to say goodbye to like friends and family. Because he knew he was going to be passing away soon. And he went back to Morocco, and that was when COVID hit. And so he got stuck in Morocco. So he ended up passing in Morocco, but she didn't get to say goodbye. But you know what? I always feel like there's silver linings, y'all. There's silver linings to some things. And although for Maria it was sad that she didn't get to say goodbye to her father, but guess what? Her daddy got to be buried in his home country. And who knows? Maybe that's the silver lining to it. Maybe he was able to return. Maybe had it, it was not COVID, he wouldn't have been buried at home, maybe with where his family is, maybe where he was born. So I don't know. Death hits us differently. Death hits us where we're sad because we're the ones still here. But sometimes death happens in a way for people that is the best for them. Yeah, it's the best for them. So, but anyway, I guess we'll have to see what goes on with Tom and Maria. And then Tom also was hooked up with Natasha. Now remember, Tom, once again, Natasha was on the earlier trailer. So she was on there. And if y'all remember what I said with Natasha, go back and listen, because I'm about to toot my horn and say I was right, because I got even more evidence I was right. I said that Natasha was... because on the trailer, she was talking about she wanted a man that was independent, this and that. I kept saying, independent, go back and listen to it. I was like, independent, why you want to be independent and you in a marriage? You're supposed to be codependent. And lo and behold, we get Natasha on here talking about she wants to go to the movies by herself and she wants you to get your own popcorn. What? I can't stick my hand in your popcorn thing at the movies? Please. Not only may I stick my hand in your popcorn, hubby, I'm going to have a sip of your drink too. I don't care what drink I got. You might have got Coke. I might have got Sprite. I might have got grape or strawberry. I don't know. But to be at the movies sitting next to each other and we can't share popcorn, red vines, or a soda together? Come on now. Me and my husband get a big tub of popcorn, one giant drink, and we share both of them. But Natasha want me to go to the movies with her and get separate, then I might as well go with my girlfriend. You ain't my lover. I might as well go with my girlfriend. I told y'all that Natasha's independent, and what she said was she's sort of a nerd introvert. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that going to the movies alone, anything wrong with that, because I have gone to the movies by myself as well. That's not the big deal. But when I'm alone by myself, that's quite a bit different than when I'm with someone. And I say, get your own popcorn. Or at least don't you get the tub of popcorn, and then you take the caddy, right, y'all? And then what you do is you pour your popcorn in the little caddy. You may keep the tub, and then the person can take the caddy. Then that way you guys can salt and, put the butter on your popcorn, whichever way you prefer. Now we've done that too. That's okay. But this idea that you got to get your own, you ain't going to be no lover of mine if that's the kind of rules you got. And then Tom was saying he was with it. Well, that might tell me something about Tom if he's with that. We'll see. We'll have to see. Later on, we heard from Natasha that she was saying that people just look at her as the skinny blonde and they just want to take her out for drinks and have a good time. Natasha. Now, I don't want to really talk about anybody's looks because I'm not a beauty queen myself, and I don't want to say anything negatively, but girl, Natasha, you are not a beauty queen. But she did say that she lost 5 stones. And at first I was like, 5 stones. Y'all, I'm so ignorant. I didn't know what the hell 5 stones meant. I thought she was saying 5 kidney stones. I'm ignorant. I'm going to admit it. I was ignorant. I had to Google it till I realized that 5 stones is like, you know, a measurement metric. Here I am, a whole engineer, didn't even know nothing about 5 stone. I looked it up and it was equivalent to 70 pounds. Natasha lost 70 pounds, y'all. I need to call her up. I'm trying to lose 15. And I've been trying to lose these same 15 for now 2 years. Can't do it. But I did just order these meals, y'all. I hope it's good. I signed up for these factor meals. Has anybody out there done these factor meals? They sent me this coupon. I got like 70% off, so it was pretty cheap. I got 14 meals for like 60, 70 bucks. And it's supposed to help me lose weight. Because I'm going to try to lose 15 pounds. I probably should try to lose 20. Then that way, if I gain back 5, that's okay. But anyway, Natasha, girl, how you lose 5 stones? I don't know how many I need to lose. If I only need to use 15 stones, then that might be equivalent to if I need to lose 15 pounds, 20 pounds, that might be equivalent to probably only maybe about one stone. Maybe like 1 stone or something like that. Natasha, how you do it, girl? Diet and exercise? Or did you get a lap band? I don't know. But she says now men see her differently because she's not as overweight. Well, of course, I mean, come on now, y'all. Let's stop pretending like there's no what do we call it, discrimination against, you know, chunkier people versus, you know, thinner people. There's discriminating against, you know, in the dating world, I should say. Shoot, some people say maybe even in the working world. So I understand Natasha, but then she started talking about I'm not a trophy wife. Natasha, girl, you don't have no danger of being a trophy wife. No, you do have not. Natasha, you do not have any danger of being a trophy wife. Now, you're going too far. I know you done lost 5 stones, but girl, you're going too far. She says she's serious and intelligent. Okay, girl, you serious and intelligent, but you don't have no danger of being a trophy wife. Don't worry about it. You not in danger. You acting like you in danger, girl. You are not in danger. Tom was asking her, would you want to live abroad or something? Maybe Todd wants to live abroad. Like he said, he don't want to share his popcorn. He might be just as independent as you, Natasha. She says, yeah, I'd be down with it. She says she's a nerd and an introvert. I don't require that much time from my partner. And she said, I'm not really selfish because I don't want to share my popcorn. I just don't like to share. But Tom says he likes independent women. He likes them. So, you know, the interesting thing is he's saying the same thing Natasha's saying, that they like independent people. But the thing when you hear people say they like independent people, you better make sure they're not saying, I want you to be independent of me, but then I want you around for me. Because that's 2 different things. A lot of people say, I like independent people, because what they're saying is I don't want those people to always to be dependent on me. But then the minute those people need something, they want you right there front and center. Right, front and center. So they don't want you dependent on them, but they want to depend on you. That's when you start calling people a hypocrite. A hypocrite. So we'll have to see about Mr. Tom. Who's he gonna like, Natasha more, or is he gonna want to laugh and laugh with Maria? But he did say later on he didn't feel like Maria slid into like his everyday life, probably because she's too busy trying to want a comedian. Tom's like, I can't keep up with these jokes. Tom was like, I can't keep up with these jokes. Maria's gonna want this sort of laughter all the time. I'm not really that doggone funny. I already told you some bad jokes, and that's all I got. So he may end up being with Natasha, because if he's introverted, Natasha's probably going to make him feel more comfortable when Maria is requiring him to be more extroverted. You see, Maria says she wants somebody fun, outgoing, that's going to make her laugh all the time. And Tom is saying that he can be a little bit more introverted himself. So Maria's putting too much pressure on him. Maria's putting too much pressure on him because Maria's asking for this extroverted guy. And Tom is over here talking about, I got on Birkenstocks. He's like, I got on Birkenstocks. And so, Maria, although you bring out the humorous side of me, I can't keep this up for 40 years. I can't keep it up for 40 years. So I think Tom is leaning more towards Natasha because she kind of fits more with who he is, right? So that's why I was telling Maria, she shouldn't be going around saying she wants to laugh for 40 years, because most people are going to say when they hear that, girl, I can't keep you laughing for 40 years. We're not comedians. That's why I tell people, be careful what you're going around telling people you want in relationships, because if you're telling people things in relationships that they know themselves they can't deliver, they're going to turn away from you. So just because she likes to laugh, she should just say that she wants to, who's going to be the entertainer? Is it going to be you, Maria? Or are you requiring the man to be the entertainer? I don't know. But we're going to switch over for a minute to Fine Freddy. That's what we all going to call Freddy. Fine Freddy. Because we all about here talking about how fine Freddy is. He and Catherine. And they look like they bonding, y'all. They are bonding. Freddy said he went to a medium, a psychic years ago. And that psychic told him that he was going to marry someone whose name started with a C. And Catherine was like, ooh, that's me. And that's me. I'm the girl. I'm the girl. And it did seem like they have a lot of things in common, because I know Catherine wants a fine man like Freddy. I know she does. And Freddy was saying that, Freddy's a caretaker, y'all. So first, here he is, a funeral director, which means he's used to having to at least show some compassion for people. And then he's saying that anyone he gets with has to be, prepared that if anything happened to his mother or father, he would need to take care of his brother who has Down syndrome, which could be a lifelong thing. I think his brother is a younger brother. And Catherine's like, that's okay, because I'm already working with Down syndrome people. I teach Down syndrome people how to swim. And then Catherine shared her own story of being adopted, another vulnerable story. And Catherine said that a lot of men shy away from her because they don't want to deal with the baggage that came with being adopted. Her baggage. She said that. I didn't call it baggage, y'all. Don't get on me. She called it her baggage. And I don't have a problem with her calling her baggage, because like I said in my other video, we all got baggage. Whether you want to frame it as baggage, whether you want to frame it as trauma, whether you want to frame it as whatever. I knew what she was saying. What she was saying is I got some stuff on me that comes from my childhood. And when I come into this relationship, some of this stuff is going to come with me. And you have to be willing to be able to deal with it, because it may rear its head at various times. And what she's saying is a lot of people don't always want to deal with that side of her. I wonder if Catherine tries to hide it a lot. I've been talking about how Catherine leads with the sexy. She leads with this. She leads with the flirtatiousness. In a lot of ways, I wonder if she is doing this to hide some of the inner pains that she might have. But I think that her revealing that showed her vulnerable side to Freddy. And I think Freddy liked it. Because if Freddy is a caretaker in the funeral director world, and Freddy is a caretaker with his little brother, Freddy may like the idea of being able to take care of the wounds of Catherine. It may actually attract him to her. And maybe, we talk about Fine Freddy, why Fine Freddy is out here in the world, and why hasn't Fine Freddy found him a woman? Maybe when people come to Freddy, they look at him as a piece of meat, just like, men may look at women. And Freddy is saying, I'm more than that. I'm more than a piece of meat. And maybe Catherine will give Freddy some purpose. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, y'all. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know what it's going to be. But Catherine revealed a lot. She talked about how, as a kid, it didn't bother her, which it probably did. She just didn't express it. But then as she got older, it did start affecting her a lot more, about how it all came about. So Like I said, this UK version, these folks is getting into some deep stuff. I always wish that all these dating shows came with a therapist for some of these, like an introduction of therapy for some of these people in case they haven't had any. I remember that on that show we watched, Never Ever Met, a therapist was on there, and I thought that therapist did a wonderful job. I think her name was Dr. Allie or something. I wish every dating show gave these couples a therapy session. Like once you get together, why not get together and then all these dating shows have one episode where all these couples go to like a therapy session together? I just think it's so valuable, just so valuable. Um, I think Catherine is starting to realize she don't want to be with Oli. She does not want to be with Oli. Oli was already leading towards Demi, which we're gonna get to Demi. Demi doing too much Demi. We talking about fine Freddy. I'm gonna start talking about too much Demi. Too much. I said last week it was too much too soon. And now I'm just saying it's too much. Period. Too much. Period. Period. Demi gonna smother a man. Too much. But Catherine and Oli, they started going they separate ways. In the end, we did see them uh, try to reframe it. But in the beginning, they had they one of their meetings, and here go Oli talking about what do you do when you're in the bar. Ollie's so superficial, y'all. He's so superficial, and I don't know if y'all remember in the trailer again. Oli was in the trailer. I showed that on the video, the one I did a couple of days ago. He said he didn't want a woman that was materialistic, which means he runs into a lot of materialistic women. And I think Oli meets him in the club, in the bar. I call it the club here, but maybe in London or whatever, it's called the bar. And he's talking about meeting materialistic women because that's what he leads with. He attracts what he leads with. And so then he starts judging Catherine by what bar she went to. Oh, that's a pretentious bar. Well, then how do you know every single bar, Oli? You must be in all of them. I'm starting to not really like Oli, y'all, for a lot of reasons. I'm actually starting not to like him. Not just do I think he's not a good match for Demi and he shouldn't choose Demi and Demi shouldn't choose him. I'm starting to have some feelings about Oli that I don't even know if I like him, period. Um, he says he doesn't want a materialistic woman, but he's superficial. What does he talk about? Think about it. Everybody else is revealing some deeper qualities about themselves. Um, but what has Ali talked about in his conversation? Every conversation is about what do you do for fun? Where do you go? Where do you work out? What bar do you go to? It's all so superficial. And then when you get to this whole birthday thing that he had with Demi too much, he didn't care one bit about that card she made him. She spent all that time on that card, all those doggone balloons, baked him that cake. And then all he said was, I hope this cake is vegan. And then he gave the cake to that other man. And that man was like, oh, this cake is good. So she done made him a whole cake and he couldn't even eat one little spoonful of it. So what if you vegan? You're not going to die by at least tasting a little bit of a cake that girl spent hours making. You can't take one spoonful to say that you was grateful. He didn't even really read the card at first. He opened it up while he was talking to somebody else and threw it on the table. She over here making cards, homemade cards, homemade cake, balloons up. And this man, please, he barely read the card. Barely read it. She doing too much too soon. And when he sees her, he ain't even gonna like her. Let's just be real. Does anyone out here think Oli is gonna be physically attracted to Demi? No. First of all, he already said the reason why he's choosing Demi this time is because he wants to do something different. He wants to choose Demi based on his head, not his eyes. Because if he were in the real world, there's a good chance he would have chose Catherine because he chooses women based on his eyes because he probably is superficial and materialistic. And then, so he's already trying to be different with Demi. When he sees Demi, what happens then? Is he going to be able to choose with his head still? I don't even think he's going to be attracted to Demi, y'all. I'm gonna say it right now, and I don't think he is. She seems like a really sweet girl. In some ways, other ways she's competitive. In a lot of ways, I feel like right now, Demi doesn't even know who Oli is, and she's just trying to win Oli. She's competing. She's pulling out all the stops to win this man, baking homemade cakes, making homemade cards, balloons everywhere, this and that, crystals symbolizing love. She's doing too much because she's trying to win. Win, 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 win. She wants to win. And she's not giving enough thought to whether or not this is the man she should be trying to win, period. And maybe the man should be trying to win her. Come on now, Demi. Girl. Yeah, I didn't like the way Oli treated that. When he looked at that card, I didn't like the fact that he couldn't even take something of the cake. I didn't like it one bit. He didn't hardly read the card. He gave his cake away to the man. Soon he got in the house, here, you can have it. I ain't gonna eat it. Ugh. I didn't like it. But then once Catherine and Oli met, and she says, let me make it easy for you. Because Catherine had made up her mind. She said she going with Oli. She going with Freddy, fine Freddy. And she said, let me make it easy on you, Oli. Let me say it before you can say it. Yeah, you need to pursue other options. That's good, Catherine. But isn't it funny how they both tried to spin it in a different kind of way? Catherine tried to spin it like she was the bigger person. Catherine tried to spin it like, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger person. In fact, she said that. I'm going to be the bigger person and let Demi have you because I want to be a good friend to Demi. I'm going to let her have you. When, girl, you wasn't letting Demi have him. You didn't want him no more. You had already decided you wanted Freddy. Fine, Freddy. That's what you had decided. So don't try to act as if it was a favor for Demi. It wasn't. You just decided you wanted to be with fine Freddy, and you said, Demi, you could have him. And then Oli, on the other hand, he came back to the men's circle. Y'all, did you see it when he came back to the men's circle? And he was shocked that he was getting dumped by Catherine. He was getting dumped by her. And then he came back to the men's circle, the men's lounge, and was like, oh, she took it well. Boy, you got dumped. What are you talking about? She took it well. She dumped you. We already know what's going to happen. This is going to be the same thing that happened. I forget which season that is. When it's always all the seasons. Who doesn't believe that after the pods, right? Catherine gonna get with Freddy, fine Freddy. Demi and Oli gonna get together, and then Oli gonna see Catherine, and he gonna be like, "Ooh, I should have chose Catherine." And probably Catherine. I don't know if Catherine's not gonna like fine Freddy. We might have to see about what's going on with fine Freddy. Catherine gonna have to reveal what's going on with fine Freddy, because otherwise, what's it gonna be? Oli trying to get Catherine away from fine Freddy. So fine Freddy, unless he got some skeletons over there, y'all, we don't know yet. I guess we'll find them out after the pods. But you can already kind of see how some of this is gonna shake out. We can see how some of it's gonna shake out. And then we had Jasmine and Bobby. But before we have Jasmine and Bobby, we got sad, pathetic Sam. Sad, pathetic Sam. We knew he was chaotic, and let me tell you, he really unraveled in this episode. He on his third choice, which is going to be, his third choice is going to be Nicole. Desperate Nicole. Girl, Nicole. I said it last week. Nicole is acting way too desperate to even be entertaining Benaya. So really what you have is you have Nicole and Sam. Each of these two are just picking each other, or it seems like they're going to pick each other just because they're the last one standing. Third choices. Because Nicole is Sam's third choice. He already said he had Sabrina. Sabrina went ahead and got engaged to Steven. Then he had Jasmine. Jasmine made it pretty clear that she don't want to be with him, because Jasmine is going on over here with Bobby. And so that became the second one that's gone. And so now the third one, he gonna shuffle over here to Nicole. But when he was with Jasmine, Sam was with Jasmine, he came in once he knew he lost Sabrina, firing, guns blazing with Jasmine. Boom, 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 boom. You the one, Jasmine. You the one, Jasmine. I was looking so forward to seeing you in this pod, Jasmine. And Jasmine, it was like, I know I wasn't. He was like, what's going on? He was coming in with all this enthusiasm. And Jasmine had to tell him, boy, I'm not trying to get with you. Jasmine is a mental health nurse. And I said, Jasmine, if you don't see the mental health crisis going on with Sam, then you need to go back to school. And Jasmine saw it. She saw it. The red flags were flagging. The sirens were going off. And Jasmine said, thank you, but no thank you. Jasmine let him down and she gave him the speech. And he was like, yep, that's cool. That's cool. Fine. Good. Got it. He was so mad. He was so upset, so angry. So angry. He was like, yeah, I hope it works out for you. He came out of that little session throwing that cup all around, throwing a big old tantrum like a kid. He's so selfish. Every time he talks to a woman, all he talks about is what I want for me. Me, 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 me. What I want you to be to me. What I want you to be to me. You need to choose me. You need to give me this. Ugh. First, he said she didn't even give me 30 seconds. Which you better be happy she gave you 30 seconds. He coming in and complaining after Jasmine dropped him, saying she didn't even give me 30 seconds. And then later on, he says, oh, she didn't even give me 10 seconds. He's just so selfish and into himself. But it's just sad to watch. Sad to watch. Then after Sabrina got picked up by Steven. Jasmine then rejects him for Bobby. And then he says, well, I guess I got to go on over here to Nicole, and beggars can't be choosy. Oh, Nicole, girl, really? You going to be this man's, the leftovers? You really want to go for this? So now he going to run on over to Nicole as the last choice, the third choice. Talking about, yeah, that's who I want. That's who I want to marry all this time. I'm so solidified on it now, solid, that this is who I want. This was disgusting and pathetic. Both of it was disgusting and pathetic. And what makes it even worse is that Nicole is falling for it. She's falling for it. She's falling for it. And it's all because she was over here running up behind Benaya, who is a nomad. Benaya probably invented Airbnb. Benaya needs to be the Airbnb poster child, because all Benaya does is go from house to house to house to house sleeping. He's a nomad. And then you got Nicole over here talking about, well, I don't know. You're not giving me insurances that you want to settle down. Why would he want to settle down? He's a nomad. He told you he ain't interested in settling down. He wants to keep doing what he's doing. He may just want a woman to go along with him. That's two different things. He wants a woman to fold into his nomad life. She over here trying to ask a homeless person to give her insurances and some type of steady life. Girl. So now that she sees Benaya ain't going to be able to give her that, she's primed for the picking from pathetic Sam. Pathetic Sam. Then pathetic Sam, all he's got to do is come in here and say a few words to Nicole, and here she is, laughing and smiling and all happy. Girl. It's sad to watch. Pathetic to watch. It's pathetic to watch Sam, and it's even pathetic to watch Nicole. It's pathetic to watch. And the thing about it is Sam really does not want Nicole. Not only is she his third choice, honestly, I don't even think he's her choice, even a third choice. He's just doing it because she's there. Because he didn't like the fact that she's been married before. Because when she talked about she was divorced, did you see the look on his face? He can't stand it. It's nothing he even really wants. It's almost like he's got to take some medicine. He's swallowing something he don't even want to swallow. And then when he started talking about picking her up and all this other kind of stuff, he goes back and talks to the guys and say, yeah, she said something strange like, I'm going to run and pick you up. And then Nicole's like, you may can't even. And she stopped. So now Sam thinks Nicole is some overweight woman, which she's not. But he now believes she may be, and now he's all afraid. Well, is he going to not propose in? Let's see if Sam doesn't even propose to Nicole. But we know he is because he doesn't care. He doesn't care who she is. He doesn't care what she looks like. He's only interested in being chosen, and he's only interested in making it past the pods. He wants to be on the show. He wants to make it to the second half. He doesn't care who he makes it there with. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And it's horrible to see that Nicole is falling for it. Now, what do y'all think? Are y'all mad that Benaiah tried to warn Nicole? I'm not. I think he was trying to be real. I think Benaiah knew that, you know what? I really can't give you the assurances that I think you need. Although he did try to backtrack it on a little bit. He shouldn't have backtracked on it because what he said in the first time was the real thing. Stick with honesty, Benaiah. Stick with honesty. Okay. He really didn't want to give her the assurances because he's not there yet with her. And I think he was being real and warning her. And I'm happy he did warn her. And I get what he was saying is I don't want to come off like a hater. I don't want to come off like a saboteur, like I'm sabotaging what you may have going on with Sam. But I just want to let you know that girl, he ain't here for good intentions. He's a horrible person. Don't get caught in his web of lies, Nicole. But Nicole ain't going to listen. I guarantee you Nicole is not going to listen to Benaiah because I said it before about Nicole. She's desperate. And she and Sam are in the same place. They don't even care what each other looks like. They don't care what other people do because Nicole shouldn't have been going after Benaiah in the first place anyway either. So she going to say yes to pathetic Sam, pathetic, sad Sam. She going to say yes to him if it gets to that point, which I know it's going to get there because ain't no way Sam is not going to propose to Nicole because I already know what Sam wants. So he's going to propose and Nicole is going to say yes. Ugh. Ugh. All this fakery and phonery. I love Sam talking about he feels kindred connection with her and you're my one. And, you know, all along I knew it was you. And I just couldn't stand it. My stomach just turned, y'all. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it all. But good thing that Jasmine saw through it. Good thing Jasmine saw through it. She saw through sad, pathetic Sam. And she said, hell to the no, no, no. And even though she said no to him, I'm still not certain of her with Bobby. This cruise ship thing, 6 months. I mean, Bobby, are you going to quit your cruise ship job? Because unless you're going to quit your cruise ship job, I don't see this working. I don't see it working. And, but he came with that love poem, that Love Jones poem. Bobby's like, I got a little swag, y'all. I got a little swag. He's like, you inspire me to be a better person and a better man. Shoot. You better bring it, Bobby. Bobby, you better bring it. He laid it on Jasmine. He was like, will you marry me? And then she gave a long speech too. Maybe they make all these people give a long speech before they say yes. And Jasmine's doing her little flirting. She said, he's like, boy, you better get ready for me. They was flirting. Their chemistry looks good, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. They flirting with each other. They look like the flirt is going good. So hopefully it's gonna work out. Hopefully it's gonna work out. She's good for getting rid of that hater Sam, though. She did good by getting rid of him. But Bobby and Jasmine, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how they do outside of the pods. But right now, it seems as if they have some good chemistry going on in the pods. Um, so hopefully they will do well outside the pod. So I suspect we're going to be getting a lot of proposals really soon, pretty soon. And but those are my predictions. That's it's kind of unfolding on the screen. We can kind of see. I think the other episodes we kind of didn't know what was going to happen, but this one almost feels like you already kind of know who's going to hook up. You can. It's almost like they're already showing you on the screen who's going to be together. I feel like we already know who our couples are. So we'll see. But that's it for episode 2, y'all. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.